In this video, I want to talk about self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis is a very cool concept and a useful tool in our personal growth resources. So, if we take hypnosis as a concept of altering your state of consciousness and being able to more readily achieve insight and growth and internal discovery of some of the motivations that are occurring beneath the surface of our processing mind. If we think of that as the basis, then all self-hypnosis is the process of doing that for yourself. So whereas with regular hypnosis or hypnotherapy, you might be going to a hypnotherapist who helps you alter your state of consciousness and go on this journey of discovery. With self-hypnosis, you're doing this process on your own. Now, this can be highly useful and very powerful in times when you can't afford or don't have access to or want to do additional work that goes beyond working with a hypnotherapist. And the process is quite simple. The process of self-hypnosis is basically identical to how you might enter a state of hypnosis with working with a hypnotherapist. And the way I recommend it is to actually simply spend a few minutes relaxing your body and your mind. So this might actually seem quite similar to meditation, where you listen to a guided meditation and you relax your body. Self-hypnosis is basically the same kind of thing, where you might take a few minutes to do a nice, relaxing, guided meditation. You relax the different muscles in your body and you allow your mind to quiet down as well. You probably have your eyes closed, but it's not always necessary. And in that place, you can suddenly find yourself more in touch with your body, more in touch with your emotions, more in touch with your intuition, and find that really helpful on your journey of discovery and exploration and creating change in your life. In fact, the way I used to use this in my own life is I would work with a life coach, and he had really practical and really sound advice, and I wanted that to go deeper. So as I was sitting with him, normally you'd be looking at him and nodding and sort of responding conversationally. I, after warning him in advance, would sit there with my eyes closed, enter this state of trance, which once you have some practice, you could do that really easily. You just drop right into your body, and I would enter the state where I would let him talk to me. And I would not focus so much on the individual details of what he was telling me. I would actually just sort of let the words sink in on an intuitive, emotional level. Sometimes I would almost like fall asleep. It felt like it was like in a dreamlike state. And I felt like that was a more effective way for what he was telling me to sink deeply than to sort of just think about it intellectually, which might not actually go as deep when it came to creating change. So really the way I would define the difference between self-hypnosis and like meditation is a lot of it is just your intention. We actually alter our state of consciousness many times throughout the day. When you're about to fall asleep, when you're waking up, when you're kind of zoning out or daydreaming, all of those are examples of your brain operating in a different way than maybe it normally does when you're analyzing a problem cognitively and in the normal way we might think of problem solving. And with meditation, it's oftentimes the goal, and this is more so true with sort of like mindful meditation, where you're simply noticing something. You're simply observing what is going on in your body. There's another type of meditation I've heard it referred to as spiritual meditation, where you're kind of meditating for a goal. You're trying to achieve a certain state. And if you think about it that way, self-hypnosis is somewhat similar. Self-hypnosis is basically, I'm going to relax my body right now, which is great in its own right, but I'm also doing it as a means to an end. I want this to be something that I then tap into and use as a baseline, sort of creating an altered state in which I do some additional work, some discovery, some integration or something like that. And that would be, in my opinion, how I would describe the main difference between self-hypnosis and, let's say, meditation. So the way to do it, quite simply, is to listen to a few minutes. I recommend, if you're starting out, recordings can be really helpful with this. You can have a recording that guides you just through the relaxation part. You can have recordings that guide you through both the relaxation and some of the personal growth that you're doing. Now, it'll never be personal, never be the same level of customization as working with a hypnotherapist who can adapt to what you're looking to do, but it is a good start to have some of the prompts. So I have created some recordings actually, which do both the guided relaxation part and also tackle a specific topic. They give you some things to discuss. For example, in the world of ADHD, you might connect to your inner child. In the world of addiction, you might tap into what you're feeling right before you take that addictive action, partake in that addictive behavior. So these are all prompts that help you in your own journey of discovery, and recordings can be really helpful if you kind of are not used to relaxing your body or you find yourself getting distracted. Having that voice can be very grounding to help you stay focused. Now, obviously, there's still an advantage of working with another hypnotherapist, and the way I describe it is, imagine you are in the passenger seat of a car and you're driving on a journey. Well, having a guide by your side who's taking the wheel and also pointing out some of the cool sights allows you to completely relax into the scenery and just appreciate the ride. When you have to also be thinking about what the next steps are, or doing some of the steps yourself, or what to do if you get stuck, you're not quite as relaxed. So I find that when I'm working with another person who is my guide as a hypnotherapist, I'm able to go just that much deeper because I know that I'm in good hands. I could just kind of lie back and relax fully and let my intuition really come up. With self-hypnosis, there's almost always a part that is still figuring out what to do because you know you're still a little bit in the driver's seat. And that's sort of the distinction. But by all means, I highly recommend self-hypnosis as a method of personal growth, either on its own or as part of your work with your hypnotherapist. I find that if I work with a client, but then they continue doing their own work on their own with recordings and their own processes in between, they grow that much faster and they integrate the ideas that much more deeply. So I hope that you find that helpful, sort of an overview of what self-hypnosis is, and good luck on your personal growth journey. I invite you to check out some of the guided meditations or self-hypnosis guides on my channel, and good luck on your personal growth.